If you look at the hideous action in the stock of nvidia today, you'd think CEO Jensen Huang offered nothing special at his CES keynote last night. Or maybe even that he canceled it. But sometimes the stock doesn't tell the whole story, particularly this stock. First of all, the whole tech sector rolled over today, even as other parts of the market like healthcare and the banks, they held up well. Second, I'd argue that tech stocks were victims of the flailing 10-year treasury, as I said at the top of the show. Finally, this stock was up huge going into Jensen's speech last night at its highs. It was shocking that nvidia managed to open up strongly this morning, and it was sailing. It only fell from those levels because the yield on the 10-year treasury spiked. Listen, I'm a stock guy, not a tech guy, not a health guy, and not a bank guy, but I am what's called a generalist. I cover many different industries and many different companies. But some stocks I follow more closely than others, stocks like nvidia. That means I know NVIDIA's capabilities, and as someone who knows about the company, I did find last night's speech pretty darn dazzling. See, last night Jensen took a leap to go much deeper with physical AI, including making humanoid robots and taking autonomous driving to the next level. As Jensen said, quote, everything that moves from cars and trucks to factories and warehouses will be robotic and embodied by AI, end quote. To me, that sounds like the agentic economy, where we have digital agents that can do all sorts of things for us, and it's all NVIDIA. The world will never be the same if this happens, and after last night, I think it's happening much sooner than expected. That was the takeaway. Jensen talked about the possibly relevant AI PC, something that's been considered a bust. He mentioned several uses for Apple's Vision Pro for healthcare and gaming, another alleged bust. Plus, there are all new clients like Toyota, that may want to build out a network using a supercomputer brain in one location and then a brain on board. I know that just sounds like a press release, but if Toyota, a well-capitalized company, decides to build out a Tesla-like autonomous driving system, it's going to have to buy hundreds of thousands of NVIDIA chips. That's good for business. Very additive. Now, there are always plenty of people, actually, who own NVIDIA for the long term, like the trust does. They should be gratified by all these very important announcements. But there's also a huge group of people who own NVIDIA because it goes up, often by a lot. And the stock went nuts going into and immediately after Jensen's speech. These people, many of whom buy call options, not common stock, don't know enough about the company to stay in it when the stock starts selling off. I'm sure they didn't watch the keynote or read the blogs, and they're just in it because of the momentum. When the momentum turns, they turn too. Sell. To me, this is business as usual, people. While I may not know all the exciting specs that Jensen talked about, as I see it, he assured you that the new industrial revolution is alive and well and coming to you in a very short time. In my eyes, NVIDIA stock was brought down not by anything lacking at CES, but because there was too much hot money in the stock. And these kinds of fellow travelers are your worst enemy if you're a shareholder. This decline had nothing to do with the specs from Blackwell or any of NVIDIA's other chips. My dog NVIDIA died a few years ago, but the company NVIDIA, it is alive and well with a stock that's had this kind of move over and over again. It just stands out because the company now has $3.4 trillion market capitalization, slightly below Apple. And to some degree this morning at $153 stock, it was priced for perfection. It closed at $140. The thing is, last night Jensen actually gave us perfection. And that's why NVIDIA actually opened up, but other forces intervened and crushed the stock. We don't know what the employment number will look like on Friday, but if it's at all soft, today's sellers will be kicking themselves. If you don't already own it, you can think about buying some now, maybe nicely below its all-time high, and wait until the labor report to buy more. If it comes in hot, you will get a chance to buy this stock lower, maybe much lower. But understand one thing: the keynote dazzled. The new projects are way ahead of any other company, and this new industrial revolution belongs to NVIDIA. That doesn't mean the stock can't go down. It just means that you can buy happily by the inevitable pullbacks, although when they do happen, remember, they tend to be sizable and brought about by scared shareholders who aren't sure exactly what NVIDIA makes, other than sparkling leather jackets and mini Jensens. I like to say there's always a bull market somewhere. Promise I'll find it just for you right here at Mad Money. I'm Jim Cramer. See you tomorrow.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #